Bycatch is a term used to describe any species caught incidentally while fishing for other species. According to the FAO, there are very few fisheries that do not catch sharks as bycatch, and some actually catch more sharks than their target species. It is estimated that tens of millions of sharks are caught as bycatch each year. With the high demand for shark fins, sharks are no longer thrown back into the sea with a chance of survival, but are instead first finned, blurring the line between target and bycatch. Some of the most problematic shark fishing gears include long lines, trawls, and gill nets. Long lines use thousands of baited hooks suspended on a line, often for miles. Swordfish, tuna, mackerel, and sharks are commonly targeted by these fisheries. Long lines catch large amounts of bycatch because baited hooks provide an easy meal for any indiscriminate predator, including sharks. They are often left in the water for long periods of time, and when they are pulled out of the water, the hooked sharks are usually dead. A trawl is a large net that is pulled through the water column or along the seabed. This fishing gear is often used to catch fish or shrimp. Bycatch of unwanted species, such as sharks, is a problem for trawlers because it is a very indiscriminate form of fishing. Trawl fishing can occur with a single trawl boat or in teams of 2 boats, each pulling one end of a much larger trawl. Gill nets are long walls of net suspended in the water to trap and hold fish. A fish swims into the invisible net, and when it swims back to try to escape, its gills become caught in the net. Sharks, like other fish, often become entangled in nets even if they are not the target species. If the sharks caught are still alive when the net is pulled up, they are often injured, and stressed shark meat is delicious and nutritious if prepared properly. In some countries, shark meat is marketed under its common name, in others, it is known by other names. The fish in British fish and chips is sometimes shark or school shark, although these are considered low-quality fish and chips. Fish and chips actually include cod or haddock, the 2 most common types, and also flounder. The prejudice against shark meat stems from the disgust people associate with sharks for their scavenging habits and the fact that the meat spoils easily. The meat of some species can have a strong flavor. This can be reduced by freezing it for 24 hours, then soaking it in salt water for 2 hours. Dried salted shark has become a staple food in some countries where salted cod was once popular. But you should never eat shark liver. High levels of vitamins in shark livers can make people sick. When alive, blue sharks are a brilliant blue on top and often snow white underneath. The blue quickly fades to a dull grey after the shark is killed. Mako and porbeagle sharks are also blue, but not as brightly. When alive, most sharks are brown, olive, or grey. Considerable research has been devoted to understanding what attracts sharks and causes them to attack. Sound, rather than sight or smell, appears to be the shark's primary cue when moving into an area. Certain types of unusual sounds, such as those made by swimmers in distress or injured fish, appear to attract sharks from a distance. Some scientific experiments have shown that sharks can distinguish light from dark colors, and that they may even be able to distinguish between colors. Yellow, white, and silver appear to attract sharks. Many divers believe that suits, fins, and tanks should be painted dark to avoid shark attacks. While blood itself does not attract sharks, its presence combined with other unusual elements will agitate the animals and make them more likely to attack. Some species, such as nurse sharks, are extremely slow and have poorly developed teeth, but even these have been known to attack humans when agitated or disturbed. Barracudas, although divers consider their ferocious reputation to be undeserved, moray eels, octopuses, and spiny sea urchins can pose a danger to swimmers. Portuguese man-of-wars have tentacles up to 50 feet long with specialized cells that produce painful stings and ulcers when they come into contact with swimmers. Stingrays, toadfish, catfish, and jellyfish can injure swimmers and waders. Divers should also avoid some reef creatures. Sharks don't have bones, they're made of cartilage. They're called elasmobranchs, which means fish made of cartilage tissue. Even though they don't have bones, they can still fossilize. The shark's skeletal system is made of cartilage, the transparent substance that makes up your ears, and the tip of your nose. And in its pure form, cartilage does not fossilize. However, as most sharks age, they deposit calcium salts in their cartilage to strengthen it. The dry jaws of sharks look and feel heavy and solid, like bone. These same minerals allow most shark skeletal systems to fossilize quite nicely. Teeth have enamel, so they also show up in the fossil record. Sharks have very good eyesight. In fact, sharks can see extremely well in dark areas with light, have excellent night vision, and can see color. Avoid wearing bright colors, such as orange and yellow, in the water, because sharks can actually see them. Sharks have 8 unique senses. These are hearing, smell, lateral line, pit organ, vision, Lorenzini, touch, and taste. Sharks have many of the same senses as humans, such as taste and smell, but they have three senses that we do not have. The lateral line, pit organ, and Lorenzini are senses that have been discovered in the last 10 to 20 years and play an important role in how sharks function when swimming around. Sharks have been observed to go without food for up to about 6 weeks. The record for a shark fast was set by a swell shark, which did not eat for 15 months. Sharks can enter what is called a feeding period, which can constitute starvation, but on a large scale, sharks are not always hungry. Sharks are fish. They live in water and use their gills to filter oxygen from the water. Sharks are a special type of fish known for their bodies being made of cartilage instead of bone like other fish. The classification of this fish is elasmobranch. This category also includes stingrays, saw rays, and stingrays. Sharks will eat just about anything. In fact, things like tires, license plates, fur coats, chicken coops, and even a full suit of armor have been found in their stomachs. But in general, sharks are omnivores, meaning they typically eat only meat and plants. If there isn't a plentiful supply of meat in the area, they'll switch to eating marine plants. The largest shark of all, the whale shark, is primarily a plankton eater. Catch and release is the best way to fish for sharks. Taking an apex predator unnecessarily away from its environment creates an unbalanced ecosystem. Help maintain the balance. Always think about safety when handling sharks. These apex predators twist, turn and sometimes even jump when landing, so you need to be careful and do your best to prevent the shark from getting injured. Also keep in mind your own safety and that of others. Quite a few serious injuries have been caused by sharks thrashing around. Once you have the shark on the beach, quickly lay it on its side. Do not place the shark on a hot surface as its skin can easily burn. Do not place the shark on rocks. Always keep the shark in wet sand as close to the water as possible, ideally at least a quarter of the lower body of the shark so it can support its own weight. Hold the shark firmly behind the head and around the wrist of the tail. If the shark is large, a team of 2 is needed, otherwise you will not be able to stop the shark from thrashing. Once the shark is calm, try using wet gloves or a wet towel, then try to remove the hook with a long hook remover. If you cannot remove the hook easily, you should cut the line as close to the fish's mouth as possible. Usually the hook will eventually fall out or pass through the stomach. Trying to remove a deeply stuck hook can damage the fish's internal organs or blood vessels, and if your hand slips, you risk injuring yourself. You do not want to put your hand in the shark's mouth. Usually, if you turn a shark over, or hold it upside down, it will become quite calm and easy to handle, probably because it becomes confused in this position. As well as laying the shark on its back, placing a wet towel over its eyes will often help calm it down. Don't get too cocky. A shark may look calm, but it can bite very quickly, leaving you unable to react and possibly injured. Always be alert. The internal organs of many sharks are loosely held in place by connective tissue. In water these organs are supported, but if the shark is lifted by the tail the tissue can tear, i.e. bending the shark into a C shape. There is also a risk of damaging the tendons that hold the vertebrae in place. These problems are less likely to harm a small shark, but the best rule is to always try to pull the shark back into the water in as horizontal a position as possible. If the shark seems weak, try to revive it by pushing it forward in the water. Don't let the shark swim back and forth. Try to do this at a depth of water that you are comfortable with, giving you enough room to react quickly in case the shark returns. The best shark bait is a bloody piece of fat or live bait from a species that is in the water. Sharks are opportunistic, but they will focus on what is available when looking for food. They are large predators and need a lot of food to feed their sharks. So it is no surprise that they tend to target what is available and available in larger quantities. They are 9 to 19 inches long and work well as live bait or flake bait. The best characteristics include a thick, oily skin with a pungent odor. They easily attract sharks, especially if fishing near a school of bait fish. Barracuda has a strong, oily, bloody odor that makes them a prime fish for attracting sharks from a large area. Used as bait, you can cast from the shore or fish in deep water and lure the sharks close. Menhaden are large, about a foot long. They are bottom feeders and produce a lot of oil. They make great live or cut bait for sharks due to their thick layer of blubber. Stingray